Our football team is, of course, excited about getting to California. You know, most of the guys never been to the state, so there's a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do besides playing football. Football part, it was good to, we're just getting back from, well, we're a little late, we're just getting back from practice. A good start to game week. Of course, we're playing a good Cal team. Coach Wilcox, of course, followed his career quite a bit, know what he's done on the defensive side of the football, and we see what he's done with the Cal program. Again, we're just pumped up to have a chance to play in a bowl game, and this is a big deal to us. We want to play our best ball. This break has given us a chance, you know, for our students to finish up with finals and all of that. In the last game we played in the regular season, we had a lot of players that didn't play. We've had an opportunity to get some of those guys back. I'll take your question. Brandon will be coming out shortly. He's been good for a period of time. Brandon is one of the few players on our team that's played in a bowl game. But I know everyone, of course, everyone. We have Reggie Corbin and Dele Harding that will be representing our team also. I know they're excited about their first game. Like he normally does. He's a good player. He practices hard, practices well. There's no lingering effects from, you know, his last concussion or anything like that. Again, he's ready to go. He'll get a chance to answer your question, and you'll be able to see for yourself.
In the last bowl game, he played it. He was coming off a similar injury and kind of the same process. To help him maybe come back and know what he needed to do to be ready.
You said last bowl game?
That he played.
Did he play? I don't think you have to go back that far. He's come back from an injury this year. And once you get healthy, you know you're healthy and you're ready to go. I don't think, I was just talking with him earlier, again, being about the only guy that's played in a bowl game for our team. He remembers a little bit of it, but I know he's just excited about this next opportunity to play a bowl game with his new teammates.
Coach Smith, it's been a journey, I say, as well as Cal. Particularly Illinois, that four-game losing streak. Guys almost wasn't even in this picture. Can you talk a little bit about what was that like to go through that? Then all of a sudden turn things around, you know, be here in San Francisco, Redbox Bowl.
Well, if you just look at 0-4, we lost 4 games in a row. I guess I guess you assume that there's a lot of really bad things going on during that time, but that wasn't the case. What I saw from that time is we didn't play well enough to win, but we're up on Nebraska by 14 points. Minnesota beat us. Brandon, we have our quarterback for half of the game. Of course, Michigan jumped out. Brandon didn't play that game, and we were down 28 points, and we came back. So we saw good things throughout that time to let us know that we can be a good football team if we cleaned up some things. We got to the Wisconsin game, and we cleaned up some things, and we got that signature win, and that momentum started going for us to end up here. So we learned an awful lot. You need to go through adversity really to see exactly who you are, and we did.
Where did that put you at? You know, the first year as a college, the first 2 years as a college coach coming from the pro ranks. Where did that put you at? What did you learn through that stretch?
You know, I'm asked quite a bit. What's college, NFL, high school? I don't see much difference. College, NFL. I've been doing this enough times to go through losing streaks, winning streaks. It's always about the next game, and the state of course is a process. That's what we were going through. So what did I learn? The same things you normally learn. You clean up the mistakes you made and focus on the good things that you've done, and that's what we're able to do.
You mentioned gaining momentum after losing streak. How much did the defense have to do with that? And just can you talk a little about just like the changes or how much better the defense got and what that meant for the season?
Well, it's been documented how bad we were the year before. We didn't run from that. Where we finished up, told defense-wise, that sign is still in our defensive room, but we kind of knew some of the reasons why that happened. And you get to a point where you say that's enough. And a lot of times when you're so bad, it puts so much of a focus on you. That's a good thing if you turn it around. And the Dele Hardings of the world, you know, didn't want to go out like that. In order to play good defense, you have to have a leader, a captain that does everything the right way on and off the football field. And that's what Dele Harding, our captain, a senior, did. He's bought into everything. And once you have a few guys playing good football and you see you can have success, it can be a good thing. Jake Hansen has been fighting an injury, but of course he had an awful lot to do with that. You know, we have a few, Wale, Batiku, Jamal Milan. There's a lot of players that we had that needed to kind of step up and play good ball. We don't believe it's a good defensive game unless you can take the ball away. Can't wait on a turnover or anything like that. So I think the defense had a lot to do with it, taking the ball away, and we scored a lot of touchdowns too, but eventually had to score an awful lot of points, and our offense was able to put things together. Reggie Corbin will come out in a little while also. He's been outstanding, just not doing this time, but his entire career here, and you know, we kind of going on what Brandon did too. He's, you know, all of our guys that are injured are getting better, and we'll just kind of wait right up until game time to see exactly who all for sure will be able to go. I know Josh has done a lot of good things. We talked about the losing streak. The winning streak, Josh had an awful lot to do with that, made a lot of big plays. When you run an offense the way we do, it opens up that, you know, the one-on-one situations outside with the pass, and again, that combination worked an awful lot.
Justin talked about following you and kind of watching how you coach. What does that mean to you that your coach kind of follows?
Well, I think that's how it's supposed to work a little bit. I mean, you know, I'm an older coach now, but there were a lot of coaches before me that were older than me that I watched and I learned an awful lot from. That means an awful lot. I mean, the game has meant so much to me. It's given me so much. So if there's something that I can pass on that some of the younger coaches have gotten from how we play defense, how I coach in general, I mean, that's all a good thing. I just know what he's done. He is younger than me, but he's built a reputation pretty quick for outstanding, just sound, you know, good sound, fundamental defensive football. All of his teams have played that way. That's why it's no surprise what they're doing here at Cal. You expected it.
Could you talk about Peters a little bit, his strength as a quarterback and what things he does well?
When we went out, we felt like we needed to have a little bit more experience at the quarterback position. What we were looking for, you know, you want your quarterbacks. Eventually, quarterbacks have to be able to pass the ball. And in an ideal world for us, we would like to play with an athletic quarterback that can move the chains with his feet too. But it's a little bit more than that. I think the quarterbacks, they have to convince guys that they can get the job done, follow me. And one thing about Brandon, he's even keel. And that's a good thing. It's not too high, not too low. It's a confident player. I saw that the first time we brought him over for a visit. Just thought he would be the perfect fit for what we're trying to do. He brings experience, too, of coming from a good program and playing at a high level. All of that has contributed to where we are right now. And, you know, we've had success in the graduate transfer market. And it's really good to have what you get from graduate transfers a little bit. As in Brandon's case, he had to graduate from the University of Michigan as soon as he did. Said an awful lot about the intellect that we'll be getting at the position, too.
Have you been to Alcatraz?
Yes, I have.
What was it like? What do you remember about it? What did it mean for you?
You know, I'm 61. There's very little I haven't done. But, you know, like most people, when you come here for the first time, that's a spot that you should go see. That's why I'm excited. Our team, the players, after they leave here, of course, all going out and having an opportunity to see it today. But I know why you're out there. And, of course, back in the day, you didn't want to be there. But it's just pretty fascinating to to just see it all, I mean, how it all worked back in the day.
What's the balance of just the pleasure of the trip and the business?
I think you can balance both of them. Now, we're in a new area, but that's what we do on a daily basis. I mean, we practice football. Our guys also students, too, that they have to put an awful lot into. And so, and then there's playing. So there's time for social life and all that. We have a plan. We have, you know, a typical college athlete, you can have the athletes for 4 hours a day. The rest of the time, they're kind of on their own a little bit, whether it's school or what else they're doing. So we're occupying that time that way. But they know earlier it was about football practice today. We're going to have meetings late on the day also. We'll get all of our work in to be able to play the best game we can. I'm sorry?
When Brandon came to visit, you mentioned he noticed the confidence. Is there something he specifically did that you kind of realized he had that confidence?
No, I don't think a guy answers one question and you say, hey, he's a confident guy. I think over a period of time, you look at his track record. And when we bring anyone in, we get as much information as we can. I knew personally the guy that tutored him the most at the University of Michigan, Pep Hamilton, was on my staff. And you just ask as many people as you possibly can, and then you go. There's a lot of boxes we ask players to check off before we invite them to become a part of our program. And then you hope you're right. And that's what, but everything about Brandon said that we wanted him in our program and couldn't be happier.
You said earlier, you were talking about Corbin, how outstanding he's been, like the lead Calif. You have many running backs at that position. You talk a little bit about, you know, working with him during his college career.
Yes, one of the guys has been with us the entire time, seen him grow an awful lot, to waiting his time as a running back. That's the case for a lot of running backs. Normally you have a few that can carry the football, can make you miss in the open field. But what I saw from Reggie early on was just that. When he got his hands on the ball, he could run in between the tackles, but when he got in the open field, one-on-one situations, you know, at times, you know, you say you can, you know, special moves he's been able to make. So he's been very productive for us, and a guy like that should finish up having a chance to play in front of him in the audience that hasn't seen him play an awful lot. That's what I've talked to most of the guys about on our team. Out west, most people haven't really seen us play that much, so it's another great opportunity to prove exactly who you are.
One last question up here in the front.
What would a bowl victory mean to the program? What would it symbolize going forward?
Just on where we are right now, our program has made so many strides this year. You know, I've talked a lot about the new facility, and the next thing was to put a better product on the football field. We have a better product that we put on the football field. I've also made a statement that our best team, I think, has been leading up to next year. So what a bowl victory would do would just give us momentum going into the next year as much as anything. And we didn't finish the season up the way we wanted. So to have a good taste in our mouth would be pretty important for us.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll bring
Thank
up
you.
the players now. We have linebacker Dele Harding, quarterback Brandon Peters, and running back Reggie Corbin. Coach, good luck. Thanks a lot. All right, if you guys want to fire away with questions, we'll get the players on their way so they can catch their boat.
Reggie, you've been through all the ups and downs of Illinois football these past couple of years of your career. Now that you guys finally made the bowl game, how do you feel, representing Illinois in the Redbox Bowl?
I'm still just trying to wrap my head around it, honestly. The fact that we had a practice today in California is like unreal. But I'm glad that, you know, all the stuff we went through, I got the greatest group of guys that I wouldn't rather go to war with anybody else. So I'm excited to have this group here and finally get a bowl game.
What makes you say you're glad you went through that?
Because, you know, going through that, of course, you're not grateful for it at the time. But once you grow and you look back on it, you're very excited and very appreciative of all the growth that happened. And I don't think I'd be the person I am or the brother I am today without it. So.
Randy's second time going through protocol this year. What's that been like for you, and how do you feel, Randy?
Yeah, I mean, it's been frustrating for sure, but I feel great. Fully prepared and ready for this game. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
What's this mean for you? Just lead this team to a bowl game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always a blessing to get to a bowl game, but my time at Michigan, we never won a bowl game, so the end goal now is finally get one under my belt, and for these seniors as well.
Hey, Brandon, you mind pulling your mic towards you?
Oh yeah.
No, he just-
He's just quiet. That's all he does.
Get him a lob mic next time.
How do you lead this offensive team?
It's good, man. I remember like most of the games, I just kind of have no idea where the ball is going. I just see him do something crazy and he completes it, and I'm just like, yeah, BP, go crazy, But it's good to have my main guy back, I tell him every day, when in doubt, just hand it off, But I have full confidence in him, man. I think, him at the wheel of this team, couldn't have a better driver, so.
Dele, you and Evan Weaver from Cal are the two leading tacklers in the nation. Wondering what you've seen of him, what your impressions are of him, if you watched him on tape, if you ever watched any Cal defense on tape, but also if you can compare the way each of you plays.
To be honest with you, I haven't really watched Cal defense. I'm more, fixated on the offense. But from what I did see, he's a great and instinctive player. Especially in between the tackles. His stats speak for itself as far as being around the ball, good awareness and everything like that.
Brandon, given the fact that you have bowl game experience, can you kind of describe what the difference is between just the regular game and being a big bowl game in California?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you're in somewhere where it's really nice. Obviously we got blessed with great weather here in Cali. I don't know, I mean, the thing that makes it different is, you got a lot of camaraderie around you, a lot of excitement. But at the same time, you just got to stay focused, not let all the activities and events get in your head, but rather, stay focused on the end goal, which is to win.
Dele, what's it like actually to be here after all that leading this team?
Man, Reggie spoke on it earlier. The growing pains that we've been through. Just a blessing to be where we're at. Relating it back to where we were and how we got here today. A lot of, fight, sweat, hard work, blood, tears, man, all into the season, man. And to be at a, great weather bowl like the Redbox, man, it's a blessing. A couple of people look at us crazy because we walk around with short sleeves on and, shorts. I see people with bubble coats, gloves, and hats, but, compared to Champaign, man, this feels like summer. So, I couldn't ask for a better, situation or bowl game.
I asked Coach Smith the same question. Randy, you can follow up on that. That 4-game stretch of guys lost, or losing. He said there was some close games there. Just hit miss. What was that experience like? Because you guys could have just, mailed it in and just gave up on it, but now you're here to San Francisco playing a lot of goal.
Man, when you go through things like that, it could go, one or two ways. You either, just let it happen or, fight against it with all the pride and, fight that we have, man. Through that stretch, that just brought us together as brothers, leaning on each other each and every game to, come out with the win. And, man, I've just seen the team grow overall throughout the season, and I couldn't, ask for a better group of guys, man. I stuck through it and believed.
Is this one where the defense came really, you saw the defense really coming together and those big catalysts for this season and turnaround? What were some of the things you guys talked about? Lovie was talking about you and your leadership. What were things that you specifically also did just to kind of take another step?
It's nothing on my behalf. It's definitely a group effort. Speaking in the defense, man, it's 11 guys on the field, and everybody contributes all around. From my point of view and what I thought, you know, the defense made that huge turnaround, or as a team actually, was the Michigan game, second half. We started to make that comeback, and in the end it didn't, you know, work out the way we wanted it to. But you know, it followed into the next week's game. You know, we hit the ground running throughout the season. So yeah, if there had to be a point, that was you know, a point for me.
Reggie, it's your last game. So what's the game mean to win?
Just to go out on top, man. It's kind of like, how do you want to be remembered? You know, my dad's been sending me that text message every day of the week. Just go out there and give it all you got, you know. This is the last game that everyone will remember. You have one more chance with that eye on your chest to just be special and lay it on the line for your brother. So.
And just following into that, it's basically the same thing. Just leaving it all on the field, especially with it being our last game in the orange and blue. You know, we want to leave the program on a good note, and you know, allow them to roll in, you know, to the next season with very high energy.
When were you best?
Have you guys ever been out?
Nah, not at all.
Have you ever been to California?
Yeah, I have.
What does that mean today to get to go out and try that experience?
That's all you, man.
I really don't have, you know, a whole background or info about Alcatraz at all. So, you know, it's just, I don't know. I'm just taking it all in, I guess.
The boat will be nice, so.
It's a nice day.
Hey, Brandon, when were you cleared, and was the process of getting back any different than it was the other first times?
Yeah, I was actually cleared like the Monday or Tuesday after the Northwestern game, but you know, I tried everything in my power to play in that Northwestern game, but they were like, no. You know, I was pretty upset about it, but you know, the process was, you know, all the same, no longer than the last process I went through.
Do you
So.
have any concerns after having two in the same season?
No, honestly, I don't have any concerns because, you know, our medical staff, they did it the right way. You know, we went through all the steps that needed to be done. So, you know, I feel fine. I feel great. So, honestly, no.
Any familiarities coming back to the last 4 games played in a similar situation?
What's that?
The last 4 games played was in a similar situation?
Oh, yeah. My sophomore year, yeah.
Any similarities there? Or just
I mean, I was cleared like a couple days after the game that year too as well, you know. But, you know, when you come back, you know, you just got to kind of knock off the rust a little bit. But, yeah.
Reggie and Dele, how do you guys manage the emotions of, you know, being the first bowl game in Illinois for a long time, being the first bowl game for a long time for Illinois, and given it's your last game? How do you guys plan on managing that emotion?
I mean, you never really know until it hits you, I guess. Going into that game day, my approach is to take it as, you know, any other game, you know, support for the program and things of that nature. You know, you don't want to, you know, get too high about it as far as emotions. I don't like to play, you know, riled up, you know, crying sort of thing. I try to, you know, stay as linebacker oriented, I guess, if you will, as much as possible. So, you know, just going out there, playing for your brothers, and it's the same thing as, you know, any other game this season.
I'll probably just let loose, to be very honest with you. I play running back, you know, so my style of running back is a little different. Just kind of do whatever. I think Coach Rod is giving me the free range to kind of run how I feel. So whatever comes to me, man, I'm just going to let loose and leave it all out there. So.
You talked about all the adversity since you've gotten here, and the coaching changes, staff changes, losing streaks. Do you feel like you guys have proven something with this program? So obviously, you can see on paper, but maybe you can share a low point for you or through this, and then kind of what it means that if you feel like you helped bring the program up another level.
I've had a few low points myself, of course, like personally. I think the ones for the program were kind of obvious, but just going through those games and actually when I got benched last year or a year before that, just kind of watching, you know, and I felt like I was let my team down because I wasn't out there to help, but I'm so glad I went through it. I'm so glad this team did as well. You know, we're true fighters. I think that's why, when people say you guys lost 4 straight and then came back and went on the roll, it's just the definition of our team. I mean, since high school, nobody on our team has had every single offer in the country. We've never been that number 1 recruit. So we're fighters. When our back's against the wall, that's what we do, and I think that's when we thrive. So.
Dele, I know you went to Chicago to see Bobby before you came in. What was it you meant to see the progress they've made in the videos and
Man, just overall, it was just a blessing, being in his atmosphere with the high spirits that he had. It isn't too much to say, man. He's just high spirit. Definitely, working as hard as possible. Did a good job making us laugh, of course. And it was just a blessing just being there, especially on Christmas Day, where you can't really, not everybody can make it out there as far as film situation or anything like that. It was just good being in his atmosphere, man. He's doing great overall, as you can see on the videos.
you've gotten to know these guys and you know them past and they've taken you. What's it mean to the quarterback of this team to get them here and give them this last shot?
Yeah, as a senior class, and a lot of the older guys that have been here, they haven't had the chance to play in a bowl game, and being that contributing factor at the quarterback position to get them here. It's just really cool to see how excited all of them are. Smiles on their face. It's going to be the right way to send them out. It's cool.
Anything final?
Sound like a grin. You guys made it with Bobby well throughout the season, based on whether any special plans to kind of let him experience a little bit of fun.
Special plans? What do you mean by special plans?
Just can't give away our secrets, You find out when it happens.
We just give him gear and things of that nature so he can experience, you can't really get the whole, intel or the whole experience of being in California. It's the things that come with it. So, we'll FaceTime him as much as possible to let him, see what we're doing and things of that nature as of now.
Anything final?
Red, what was it like you working with Coach?
Yeah. It's been great, man. Honestly, he's the reason why I'm here today. He gave me opportunity, even when everything was going bad. He was the first one to call me and tell me, make sure you stay, make sure you keep playing for me. I don't want another running back. His first spring ball practice here, I made a guy miss in reverse field as a freshman, and he said, "Man, you're gonna help me win a lot of games." And we've kind of been close ever since, honestly. Anytime I've ever had a problem or anything, he's always had my back. He continuously believes in me and everything I do, even through this season and everything. With it not being the same exact season that I had last year and everything, he believes in me 110%. I couldn't ask for a better coach on and off the field. So.